And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to 95.5 KZLC. We are the voice of Louisiana Christian University. Glad you could be with us. It is Tuesday. It is time for our Wildcats Media Sports Podcast. I'm the professor, Al Quartermine, joined in the studio by the one and only Noel Schonhoff, who's munching on a bag of pretzels over here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm hungry.
Well, as long as you share. We got Kai Stone on the other side of the glass. Kai, what's up? Oh, hang on. Let me turn your microphone on.
Oh.
Kai, what's up?
What's up?
Good to have you with us again. Dennis, wearing the Puma outfit. I like it, man. That's like old school Puma.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Just something I had to just take out the glasses. Something like.
And then we have another person enjoying her share of snacks over there, Carmen Taffi.
This is my lunch hour, Mr. Al.
Her lunch hour consists of Fritos.
I have Fritos, Doritos, and then you missed me pulling out some candy.
Okay. All right.
Very healthy.
I was going to say, eating very healthily, as we can see. So, Big Fish has wrapped up. Did you enjoy the show?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Ringing endorsement.
No, it's very tiring.
Yeah, that was.
People just don't understand how much effort and time goes into putting on. Like, I think the show was 3 hours, but we spent, like, so many months and hours just trying to put it on, and we only do, like, 8 shows.
Yeah. It was a good one, though. I enjoyed it.
Next up is High School Musical.
Wow. High School Musical. Did you like that one when you were like in junior high, Noel? Okay. All right. Noel was a fan. Were you a Troy fan?
No, I was a Chad fan.
Chad fan? You look like you would like a Chad.
What's that?
I don't know. I have no idea. She's blushing, though. Why are you blushing? Why are you blushing? I don't even know who Chad is. I just thought it was a quirky comment.
The afro.
Oh, the afro. Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, then that does make sense. Moving on. Oh, wait, what do we have here?
My dad said, he said,
Hang on.
my dad sent me a meme on Facebook. It says, keep studying. You can cry after you get your degree.
So true.
That's good, especially as we head into the home stretch of the semester here. In fact, this is our second to last regular show of the semester. Aw, I know. I'm going to miss this on Tuesdays. So it's always been enjoyable. And you guys have done a great job this semester. All right, we got a lot to get to on the show today. Starting first off with, how about those LCU Wildcats? Not just football, but soccer. We have 2 conference champions. Let's start with the incredible story of the football team first. Did you guys get to watch that game or listen on Saturday?
Hey,
man,
give them boys they ring. Give them boys they ring.
Well deserved.
That was
that
fourth quarter was insane.
So for those of you that didn't see or hear the game, it was this scenario. The Wildcats, who had lost earlier in the year to Ottawa University by 3, had 1 loss coming into the game. Texas Wesleyan had no conference losses, and of course Ottawa had their 1 loss to Texas Wesleyan. So for the Wildcats to have any chance to make the postseason, they knew they not only had to win to beat Texas Wesleyan in that game, but to win the game by 10 points, because if they created a 3-way tie with a victory, the tiebreaker was LCU had to win that game by more than 9 points. They had to win by 10 points. So you're going into halftime trailing. You come out of the third quarter trailing 24-10, knowing that you need to outscore them 24-0 in the final quarter, and then you go out and do it. I mean, absolutely incredible. Thoughts?
So, Cole Jones lit a fire under that team. Once he got, that wasn't a missed punt, and he ran a block punt. Okay, the proper terminations. My apologies, you football boys. Once he got that block punt, the crazy thing is, I don't know if y'all know this, but Cole recently lost his aunt, and his brother Cliff was talking to me before the homecoming game, and he was telling me how important it was for me to get a picture of them together, because they were very close to their aunt, and they had just lost her, not him, sorry. And it was really crazy to hear he was the one who, flipped the game for the Wildcats because I knew he was grieving and he was mourning, and they were really sad. So it was really awesome to hear that, he was the one who could get the Wildcats back in the game after, he was having a really tough time.
Didn't know that, but appreciate that backstory. So that's how it got really turned around. Wildcats blocked a punt early in the fourth quarter, returned it for a touchdown. Then they came back and scored another touchdown to tie the game. And then their defense continued to hold. I think there was an interception at one point. I can't remember the full chronology of that. And then they scored another touchdown on a long pass play. Is that the one that put them ahead or tied the game? I'm trying to remember. Tied the game. And then they scored again.
Right.
Devin Briscoe, I believe, right? So they go up by 7, knowing they need to win by 10. They get the ball back again, drive down, attempt the field goal. Levi Hilborn, who's very accurate on extra points and shorter field goals, just kind of pushed it to the right. So you're like, oh my gosh, we're not going to beat them by 10 because there are only like a couple minutes left. And then the defense held again, got the ball back. They drove down to like the 25-yard line and then tried the field goal with Hunter Martinson, who is more the strong leg guy. And he boots it just barely over the crossbar, but enough to give the Wildcats a 10-point victory at the buzzer as time expired. Unbelievable.
You know me with the backstories. Hunter, actually, he grew up 5 minutes away from me. He lost both of his grandparents this year, and one of the things he started doing was before he, goes to make the kick, he gets down on a knee and he prays to his grandparents, and he asked them to be with him through every single kick. And in an interview with KLB, he says that's the first thing he did. He went out there and he prayed to his grandma. He was like, be with me, please, through this. Like, this is like, one of the most important kicks, blah, 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 whatever he said in his little prayer. Yeah. But he said he felt that his grandparents were with him through every step of the way. And so that's two Wildcats who were Hunter was very close to his grandparents, and he lost both of them. And so two Wildcats who were just devastated, really changing the game for their teammates. So that's your sideline report from Noel.
Good job adding some layers to this. Kai.
Just speaking from a game standpoint, starting with Cole, the momentum shift. That block punt was, shifted the momentum of the game. And it's just great that the Wildcats did it in the fourth quarter where it really mattered, trailing in the fourth quarter. It's just a testament to the team that they are. This is, I don't know, if we're going to consider it, but is this arguably the greatest Wildcat football team of all time, you would say?
Either that or 2012. I asked Coach Maddox that on our coaches show the other day, which team would win. And he said that, he's had a lot of people ask him that. I think it's different. I think the two teams are very different, but I would love to see that matchup. That would be fun. But they're the first team, at least since football came back in 2000, to actually win a conference championship. Second team to make the playoffs. 2012, they made the Division III playoffs. Mm-hmm. So now you have a team that's going to be heading on the road to Baldwin City, Kansas. You guys are familiar with that, aren't you? Baldwin City, Kansas?
No. Mm-hmm.
No? And they'll be playing Baker University. So Baker, I was talking to Coach Maddox about it today. They've been kind of a traditional powerhouse in NAIA, but they've been down the last couple of years, and I think they had like a 4-year gap between making the playoffs. They're back in it this year. So they're the host team. It's probably another 14-hour bus ride or so to get up to Kansas City-ish area, and that's going to be the challenge for this team. So the way NAIA works, it's a little different. They took 20 teams for the playoffs. You have 12 teams that were given a bye for this week, and then 8 teams that are playing, this round. So you have 4 games with these 8 teams. Whichever of these 4 teams win will advance, and then it becomes a field of 16, where then you go into your the rest of your tournament from there. So I know it sounds kind of weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, 20 teams.
So, yeah.
You only got 4 games?
So 20 teams, but 12 of those get a bye this week. 8 of them had to play this preliminary round. And so the 4 winners join the other 12 for a field of 16. So you go 16, 8, 4, and then 2. So the Wildcats would have to win 5 games, I believe. 4 games total to win a national championship. And the national championship game is scheduled for, I believe it's December 18th, somewhere around there, in Durham, North Carolina. So the challenge is going to be for LCU. They're probably going to be on the road every game for these playoffs, and probably have to go to some rather remote locations. So they're going to get a lot of travel time over the next few weeks, assuming they can keep winning. And you know what? No one really probably knows how good they are compared to some of these other teams.
Yeah, you honestly don't know how good LC is because, they pulled out a win against number 15, but, we've talked about they've played such a weak schedule except those 2 teams, that Ottawa and Texas Wesleyan. So we don't know how good LC is, and we don't know how good the rest of these teams are because they could also be coming from a conference that's not as, good, or maybe they're the best because they've been playing the best in the conference. You don't know, so it's up in the air. You gotta have fun.
Yeah, and it's a tough stretch just traveling on the road, just especially the bus ride, just week after week, another road game. It's just tough on the legs, just being able to sit at like those long drives and stuff like that. So,
yeah, you could potentially have 4 weeks of that, which is kind of crazy. But, and if they win this week, they would play the following Saturday somewhere. So all those players will be missing Thanksgiving with their families.
Right.
And then if they come back and win the next week after that, they would have to travel, what would be during the week of final exams. So that becomes a challenge, logistically. It's just funny because at the major Division I level, they've held off forever of having a playoff system, arguing that it's not great for the student athletes. And yet you've had that at the bowl subdivision or whatever it is, what used to be 1AA, and then Division II, Division III, and NAI have always done playoffs. So it's a good problem to have. It is interesting the way it works from the research I've done. The host schools have to pay a significant amount of money, I believe around $60,000, to host a round of the playoffs. And if you travel, they do reimburse you some after like your first, I believe, $20,000. So, there's some expense involved. The good thing is, Coach Maddox told me if they have to play at a school at a distance farther than, I can't remember how many miles, they actually would fly them there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But
yeah, this Baker game is going to be really good.
you think so?
Yeah, it's because I'm looking at Baker and their football team. They've been essentially blowing out everybody that they face.
Yeah.
But on top of that, they have 2 losses, and in those 2 losses, one of them they got almost shut out. So this is going to be a good game. I believe this is also like, how y'all were saying, like it could be a case of we don't know how good these teams actually are, but we also don't know how good LCU is. So it could be LCU could blow them out, or it could just go either way. So
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Hey, we'll just see, won't we? But I mean, talk about, from where you guys are sitting, what it means to see this school win a football conference championship like that.
Carmen.
I mean, it's great to see how something comes out of all of these guys' time and effort. I mean, they put hours and hours into practices and getting up early and workouts, and it's for something now. And since they won, they can really see their hard work paying off, and everyone else can also see that as well.
From a student athlete's point of view, understanding, well, I'm retired. Don't think I'm retired. But from someone who was going to postseason, like I've said before, it's a different fire. it's a whole different thing. Like when you get to that tournament, and I mean I don't think theirs is a tournament. Everyone else's is a tournament basically. When you get to that step, you're like, okay, you're supposed to be playing your best ball right there. But to have been at this school since, it was basically embarrassing to watch the football team. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just saying that in general, the stands used to never fill. It was embarrassing. We would watch them get their butts kicked and sit on the sideline. But that's when we were in Division III. But every sport was like that. Every sport was like that except baseball and men's basketball. We were getting our butts kicked. And every sport was basically like a joke. LC was a joke, to other sports. But now we're in the NIA, and you work really hard because we've said this on sports shows before. Nobody really respects LCU. And as a player, as someone who isn't a player, you might not understand what I'm talking about. But it was said that they did not want to give that trophy to the football team. They don't want to give LCU what they don't want us to win because, we're the new people, kind of thing. You have to earn your way, and they're earning their way. Volleyball's earning their way. Soccer, earn their way. Shreveport has been in the top of this conference in almost every sport. I mean, they don't have a softball team, so I can't tell you that we beat them or anything, but they don't have softball. But in soccer and basketball, they dominate them. Baseball, dominate. So these teams taking on these and winning, you're finally like getting the respect that we deserve because you don't get it, and you have to fight a little extra harder because you don't have the respect that these other teams have been given. And that's just my personal opinion from an athlete who's played before. So it's nice. It's very nice.
No, that's the truth, because no one wants to lose to the new kid on the block. No one wants to lose to the group that just came out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, these are the new guys. They should, it's a little Cinderella season. They're going to be out of here. Then you lose to that team. Then it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
And you don't, and you get a little bitter, and you get in your feelings, so you don't want to lose to that team. And that's essentially how LCU is being looked at. We're the Cinderella team that's not supposed to be here. No one respects us. So you got to go out as an athlete. You got to go out there and earn it, and you got to go out there and prove that, hey, we can compete with anybody in the country, no matter who it is, no matter if you're ranked or if you're not ranked. We can compete with anybody, and we're gonna show you that every single time you put those pads on. So
yeah, I'm just amazed at what Coach Maddox has been able to do to transform the program, and this is his fourth season.
Yeah,
fourth season, including that spring one of 2020 or 21, whatever it was. So pretty remarkable, that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just looking from the program standpoint, it's from football. It's just I walk by some of the players whenever I came in, some of the seniors that played, some of the D-line and O-line, and just some other alumni that stopped by the game. It puts a huge smile on their face seeing this team win and doing this. Like, they're cheering this team full on.
Yeah.
So this is something that the alumni can be proud of as well.
For sure. Yeah, that fourth quarter, they took their game to a whole new level. I mean, Wesleyan just got completely overwhelmed and annihilated in the fourth quarter. I still don't know if they know what hit them, because they had that game well in hand, and you're thinking, man, what a tough way for the season to end for LCU after such a great year. And then, boom, 24 points, bye. We're taking the trophy and the playoff spot with us, and it was amazing.
So, like some movie stuff, like, like the superhero just gets just a boost or something.
Yeah.
It's like the water boy just came out there, man.
Yeah. I got a movie.
No kidding. So, again, congratulations to the Wildcats. We also are celebrating the men's soccer team. They won the conference championship on Saturday, stunning the top seed LSU Shreveport 1-0. A goal by Adrian Amaros Navarro in the 35th minute provided to be the game winner. So, as Noel alluded to earlier, Shreveport is a team that's really kind of had their way in terms of the conference their last few years, and even earlier in the year, LCU lost to them in regular season play. But here they come out and bam, win the conference tournament, and now they get a berth in the NAIA playoffs. They'll travel Thursday to Mobile to take on Hope International. The winner will then face the host team, which is the University of Mobile, on Saturday. So how would you guys assess this really good run for Coach Castillo and his team?
You know, Coach Castillo is also one of those newer soccer coaches. A lot of our coaches right now are all new besides Coach Burns, I think. I mean, Coach Burns sitting the long one out.
That's right, baby.
But Coach Castillo came in, I think, my sophomore year. They had gotten rid of their old coach, and Coach Castillo came in, and he came with the mindset that he was going to change the program. And he started making historic things happen. Oh, I can't forget about Coach Mason. I almost forgot. He's here, too. My bad. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. I couldn't leave him out.
He's been here like 7 years.
Oh, well, okay. Well, he's on the newer end then. I'm going to count that as new.
Yeah. Anything under 10.
Anything under 10. Okay, yeah. Coach Burns succeeds that. So, Coach Castillo came in last year, and, you know, they had, I believe, their first winning season or in their first postseason berth. And then you come in this year, he brings in, you know, he's giving opportunities to players who never thought possible. They're living their American dreams. And I think that is so cool to me. Like soccer, basketball, tennis, those are all sports that are giving dreams to these players who never thought possible. Because, you know, back in their country, it's either you go to school or you play your sport. And here, they get the opportunity to do both. So I think, first of all, it's amazing in general. But Coach Castillo, Audrey, as they call him, has been here for a little minute, you know, being coached under Coach Castillo, and they've just been flourishing under his guidance. This team and last year's team, you know, he still has Sergio, Peter Martin, and them as the, like, Shaquem, Taylor. He has that same starters that he's had, so he's been able to build them. They didn't have to start over with a brand new program. So I think that's really helped him, and they've been able to flourish under his guidance because they've been able to get it. I think it's kind of like the same thing with Sammy Feaster. He's being coached by his dad. He knows the same. They've been running the same plays since he was a kid. They don't have to learn anything new. So they're just grasping it, and they're finally getting it, and they're excelling, and I think it's really cool.
Man, I didn't realize. Okay, so one thing, real quick. I didn't realize that they beat the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
And they shut them out.
Yep.
1-0.
Man, this soccer team, they've really been impressing me for real. This is crazy.
Number 1.
Wow. I'm speechless. But I really am glad that they're being successful, and I can't wait to see them just flourish in the NAIA playoffs. I want them to go far. I really do. I want all of our teams to come back with national championships, and hopefully the soccer team and the football team come back, have even more jewelry, and we can just be celebrating them. And hopefully next year we can make a back-to-back. So
you always hear that phrase, they can't take that away from us. I mean, That's the case for both of these teams. You know, they've reached goals that a couple of years ago seemed almost impossible, but now here you are with 2 programs that boast conference titles, which is really great because hopefully we can get more of those in some of our other sports. I think eventually you're going to see the volleyball program get that as well. They saw their historic season come to an end Saturday at the conference tournament in New Orleans. They played the opening round against Paul Quinn and beat them 3-2, went into the semifinals, and were topped by the top seed, Our Lady of the Lake, 3-0. But they finished with 15 wins this year, and when you look again where that program was just a few years ago, every year they're just getting incrementally better, a little bit better. And I think they only lose 1 senior and then 1 graduate student from this year's team. So really the bulk and the heart of that team, they're coming back next year. And I think their goal next year is going to be to compete for a conference tournament championship.
I definitely agree. You know, we've said Coach Brittany hand built that team. She did. She brought it from nothing to something. She made the team herself. And, you know, we've talked about Emma Cother all year. She can only get better from here. And, you know, she had an amazing season. So I cannot wait to see what she does as a senior, you know, because senior year is when you put your last bit of everything you got on the line. So to see what they're going to do under the guidance of Coach Brittany and whoever she decides to come in and help her as her graduate assistant, I think it's going to be really cool. And I think it's really cool to see that the volleyball team she's built it. She can proudly say that this is my team. I built it myself. So I think that's really cool, especially for women's sports.
Oh no, I'm super excited what they do next year, because last year I took pictures at almost all the home volleyball games, and just to see how far they've come to just now has been crazy. And so next year it's going to be even crazier, and I do think they have a really good chance of winning all the way next year.
All right, and lastly, with LCU sports, we've got basketball this week. The men's and women's teams are at home on Thursday. The men actually will be on the road Wednesday for an exhibition game at UL down in Lafayette. That'll be a 7 o'clock start. And then Thursday, Dillard is here. 5 o'clock for the women's game, 7 o'clock for the men's game.
I'm just excited to go on Thursday, hopefully. Hopefully Carmen will be able to help me out and I'll get to photograph at home. I know the boys were getting on to me because I wasn't editing fast enough. But I think they have a great team coming. They've been putting up things, and they finally have some depth in their bench. They don't have 6 or 7 players that are the only people who can go in the game. They've got depth. If someone is not performing, pull them, and someone else will do it. And that is crazy for sports. You have to have depth in your bench because everyone has a bad day sometimes. And when they have a bad day, you have to have somebody who can come in and pick them up, because that's what team sports are for. You have to have somebody who can step in your place. And you have people doing different roles this year for this year's team. But I'm really excited. You know, they started off with really tough opponents, but I think it'll only make them better. You know, they're playing UL again. That's a tough Division I opponent, and it's just going to prepare them for the RRAC when they get back down to when they get down to that conference tournament and they face Xavier again. These games are what's going to make them better and what's going to push them. So in hopes that they get a nice shiny ring on their finger. So I'm very excited to see what these boys do, and hopefully they give me some good photos to post out there and make me look a little bit better.
There you go. A lot of pressure on her there. So, all right, let's get into some of the other sports. College football elsewhere on this past weekend. LSU beat Florida 52-35. And the big story of that game was Jaden Daniels, 605 combined yards between passing and running. Hear that again, 605 combined yards.
Unheard of.
I saw a stat
Disgusting.
yesterday where against top 50 defenses in the country, somebody took the top 3 Heisman candidates, the first one being Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. Mm-hmm. He's played like 4 games against top 50 defenses and has like 6 touchdowns in those games. You know, kind of pedestrian stats. Bo Nix has only played 1 and had like 2 touchdowns. But Jaden Daniels has 6 games against those teams and has like a combined 1,500 yards and, you know, I can't remember what it was, like 12 or 14 touchdowns, something like that. So in every measurable statistic, Jaden Daniels is the best player in college football right now. So do you guys think he's going to get invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremonies? And does he have a realistic chance to win despite the fact his team hasn't had the team success like some of the other programs have had? What are your thoughts?
I think he'll most likely get invited to the Heisman. You got to finish within the top 4 to get invited, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't think he will, man. I just don't think so, because they lost to Alabama. There's games that they lost, Michael Penn Jr. from Washington has been consistent as number one throughout the whole entire year. Consistent as number one for the Heisman, so I don't see it.
Man, come on, man. We're not doing this.
Are you even serious?
We're not doing it.
Come on.
You don't think he gonna win? Y'all seriously think he gonna win? What?
Look, okay.
Oh, y'all tripping.
RG3, his record wasn't that good at Baylor.
Man,
You got I can't remember the rest of the other guy's name. It was a graphic. It was at RG3 and it was like 3 other quarterbacks whose records weren't that good. They were similar to how LSU's is. But if you look at the numbers, Daniels has the best. They all had the best statistics, and they were the most electrifying player in college football that season, and they all won the Heisman. Jaden Daniels should win the Heisman. Period. End of story. No one else deserves the Heisman more than Jaden Daniels. Now, I know I got onto him the other week about the LSU-Alabama game, but
Like you didn't
the
like
guy
LSU.
is literally six. How many yards you say, Professor Al? 600. Come on now, one guy, and y'all say he's not the Heisman. Come on now, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
So I just looked it up.
I also just looked it up, and he's
So-
sitting at number 2.
2.
Yeah,
Yep,
he's
number
sitting at
2.
number 2.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
behind?
Bo
He's
Nix.
behind Bo Nix.
Come on.
It has
Nix, okay.
Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., Marvin Harrison, Carson Beck, and then Jalen Milrow.
The blasphemy. That's no. If they give it to Bo Nix just based off of team success, come on, that's just no.
Yeah.
That's like giving. I don't even know. That's like giving LeBron the MVP over Jokic and the Nuggets are the number 1 seed. Like that's just ridiculous. Like I don't know. Like that's just ridiculous. Come on now.
Ripping on
That's
the
a
joke.
trash.
That's ridiculous.
That's a trash description. That is an awful description.
So okay, because
That is
LeBron about
awful.
to come out here and average like 30 points
That
a
is
game
awful.
and get the
That
Lakers
is-
into the playoffs.
Bro,
but Nikola Jokic averaged 25.
Jokic has better
10.
numbers.
has
That is an
God,
awful.
no,
that is an
man.
awful comparison.
No.
Nikola Jokic has a better
No.
record and a better
No.
stats. Way better stats. Don't you dare
We do
do that.
We do head-to-head matchups, and he'll beat him every time.
That
This
is not-
crazy. Okay,
Oh, you don't want to talk about what happened in the first game of the
Okay, so
season?
let's
What happened in the first game of the
so let's
season?
put Oregon and LSU against each other. LSU.
Hi.
You were telling me LSU not beating
You're
Oregon.
passionate, huh?
You don't believe LSU's beating Oregon?
It's just because he's
You
a
know
You
he
believe?
gets
Do
passionate.
you believe?
He's like,
do
you don't wanna
okay.
talk
No,
about
let's go back to college
this.
football. So, do you believe that you put Oregon against LSU that LSU not beating Oregon?
I don't know.
You know they are.
Come on.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know,
The
man.
Pac-12 will get crushed.
Yeah,
in the
yeah, it's
postseason.
true.
Exactly.
They will.
That is
It will
true.
get
They will.
crushed.
I just don't like the description you made. That was a trash description.
Yeah.
I'm just saying hypothetically. Okay, you know I got a better one. Like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, that MVP year, and they just gave it to Westbrook because he had better numbers and he got his team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But people was like, no, James Harden should have got it because he got his team number 2 seed. No, Westbrook had the better year. He was the most electrifying player that year, and that's what Jaden Daniels is.
I agree.
He's the best player in college football.
That's a great description. Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Oh, no, you're good. You go.
No, I was going to say, we mentioned Milrow. I was watching that game a little bit on Saturday. That young man has improved 100-fold during the course of the season. And he had 6 touchdowns combined on Saturday, throwing and running. He is legit. He probably won't win the Heisman this year, but I could see next year if he continues to improve. He is an incredible talent. And I don't even like Alabama, but, I like the way he plays. I like watching him play. He's worth the price of admission, as they say. All right, let's move on to the NFL. What stood out to you in this past week? Anything big other than the fact you had some exciting games decided by last-minute field goals, but then you had a lot of dog games, too, again.
Now, I got a dog game for you.
Oh my gosh.
C.J. Stroud.
Yo, yeah,
C.J. Stroud. Yes, sir. Let's talk about Joe Burrow. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's talk about old Joe Burrow.
Be careful before I start counting your days.
Oh, hey,
Man, Joe
hey.
Burrow, man. Oh, you know what? No, I
careful.
can start my agenda now. Who's better? We want to go there. I want to go there.
I don't think.
Cause I think CJ Stroud. He get into the playoffs. He might be an MVP.
Oh, he's in consideration for
He's
MVP.
MVP. I'm sorry. You just beat Joe Burrow.
I have officially declared
it's
a team.
It's
I have
outta here.
officially declared to be the Houston Texans.
He's done.
I am a Houston
He's
Texans
done.
fan.
What?
I'm a CJ
Go
Stroud. fan.
Houston.
I'm a CJ Stroud.
Go
fan.
Houston.
Has a
Hey.
new team.
Hey,
Houston Texans.
What color wagon is that?
CJ Stroud.
No, I like the way CJ's playing. I like
He's a
more.
dog.
Almost every week in his post-game interviews, he gives the glory to God for his.
Yes.
I just watched
I
that.
love
Like,
that.
yeah.
I love that, man.
So that's good to see. But that was a crazy finish. I felt like that was a game in a lot of ways the Bengals just lost as much as the Texans won.
Well-
but give the Texans credit.
The Texans and Bengals are both sitting 5-4 right now.
Yeah,
So,
it's a lot of mediocrity in the NFL this season, for sure.
well, sadly, DeMarcus is not here, so I can rub my Cowboys win in his face.
They beat the Giants.
Beat the Giants 49-17
They
for
beat
the
it.
second time.
They beat a team whose quarterback lives at home with his parents.
We are sitting.
Hey, come on, stop.
Hey, no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
DeVito.
Now we are sitting at 6-3, and we are second for the East.
Who's your next opponent?
We play the Panthers, which we're going to win.
Yeah, I can't argue that one.
Hey, all I know is.
We're sitting second in the East right now.
All I know is.
So the Giants quarterback, he grew up in New Jersey, about 10 miles from the stadium. So yeah, he played his college football at Illinois, has been put into the spotlight now because of the injury to Daniel Jones. I'm like, what's that guy's name? Daniel Jones. So here he is, and he just talking about how he lives at home because it's easy. His mom makes his meals and does his laundry, and
Hey.
if he can do it.
The man's a
I
millionaire.
still live at home, too.
Man's a millionaire, man. That's crazy. He's
no,
saving money.
yeah. I don't
But
know if he is
no,
yet.
Saving money.
he only got 86 yards with 2 touchdowns versus Prescott's 404 yards and
but
4
they're playing
touchdowns.
the
I mean,
Giants.
he's playing Micah Parsons. Like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard.
Yeah, the Giants are awful. What
about my Browns though? We beat Baltimore.
that was an exciting game. I'll give you that was
yeah.
probably the best game of the day, or one of the Browns game, the Texans game. That was a really good one as well.
Raiders beat the Jets.
The Raiders beat the
That was
Jets.
a dog. That was a dog game. It was only interesting because it was close, but I think you only had one touchdown scored in that whole game.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, the Lions beat the Chargers.
Yeah.
That was high scoring.
That was a good game too, but a lot of games that really weren't that great.
Oh,
Then
the Broncos and the Bills.
Yeah, last night that was a wild game as far as how it ended because the Bills just drove down, took the lead. I think, well, first of all, Denver had taken the lead. Then the Bills drove down and scored. They retook the lead, but they left about a minute 45 left. So Denver got to drive down, tried a field goal, missed it.
Yeah.
But the Bills had 12 players on the field. You know who the 12th player was on the field during that field goal?
What was it?
DeMar Hamlin.
Oh,
Wow.
I know.
wow, that's
I
tough.
know. Sometimes
Dang.
life is cruel. So they got to re-kick and they made it. And hey, remember Sean Payton early in the year? Everyone was ripping him and ripping the offense that he was running, and what a terrible hire he was. And now in consecutive weeks, the Broncos have beaten the Chiefs and the Bills.
Wow.
Hey, and Russell Wilson has been. He's been good.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's been good. He's got 18 touchdowns for 4 picks.
Yep,
That's pretty good.
that's better than Jared Allen
Keeping up
or Josh Allen. I mean,
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
keeping up with Taylor Swift since Kelsey didn't play.
That's tough.
He was seen at her concerts. Did you see she even changed a line in one of her songs?
She said like Karma
She
is
says
the
Karma
player on the
is my
Chiefs.
boyfriend, and she switched the line to Karma is a player on the Chiefs.
And she looked dead at him too. That was crazy.
Coming
And-
home to me, by the way, that was the end of the line. It was Karma is the guy on the Chief that's coming home to me.
I saw there was a video backstage where she went running and jumped into his arms.
Yep.
How cute.
And all
And
the
it's so funny.
Swifties, all the Swifties were like, oh.
And it's so funny because they asked him in an interview, "Are you in love with Taylor Swift?" And he was like, "Oh, I want to keep my relationship private." And then it pans to like Taylor Swift changing the lights of her shows to red and yellow and adding lyrics, and it's
Okay, but the real winner here, is the other Kelsey's wife. You have two brothers in the NFL. Taylor Swift is your brother-in-law's girlfriend. And then you just have Mama and Kelsey, who is a celebrity all on her own. Come on now, she's winning. She's winning.
Yeah,
she also has two very cute girls.
Quite literally, and their podcast is really funny. So,
But it's
she's
not-
the
it's
real
not
winner
something.
here.
Yeah,
and you
Kelsey and his the
brother.
Kelseys have
Yeah,
a
Jason
podcast.
Kelsey, the center for the Eagles. They are very popular on there.
I saw it was going around Twitter the other day. There was a picture of Jason and Travis when they were freshmen at Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture.
And they, they look like, obviously they're just coming out of high school, but, it's kind of like, look at where these two are now, because they look just like very, very ordinary guys at that point.
No, but those two are, I mean, probably some of the best people ever made.
Yeah.
Their mom, also the
Wow.
sweetest person ever. I remember seeing last year at the Super Bowl their mom going up to congratulate, what's his name, James?
It's my Travis's brother.
Yeah.
Jason.
Jason, and he was like, "No, go be with Travis."
Yeah.
And it was so sweet of just how like they play on two different teams, but I mean they're brothers. Anyway, sap story over.
Wow. Now that all the Swifties are pleased with our talk, let's look at this week's
Got to cover all the bases.
schedule for the National Football League.
What we got?
Pretty good game Thursday night. Finally, a decent matchup. Bengals at Ravens.
I got the Ravens.
Bengals.
I got the Ravens.
I have the Bengals.
Let's go Ravens.
Let's go
You're
Ravens.
only going against me on purpose.
I said the Bengals.
That's why I picked the
I'm
Ravens.
talking to the one and only Dennis Williams.
Oh, I'm doing that too, though.
Yeah.
Y'all lost to a rookie. I don't want to hear you. I'm going
Excuse
for
me,
the.
what'd you say?
Y'all lost to a rookie. Come on now. I'm going for the
Hey,
Ravens.
the rookie that's about to win MVP.
You're talking
He's a
some
big
big game,
MVP.
Dennis, because your team was sucking at the beginning of the year.
My team was
No,
going
what,
crazy.
what,
My team has been going crazy. We're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, but now you run in the mouth,
Yeah,
and it's
'cause
gonna
we
come
got-
to bite you in the butt.
When you have the best defense in the NFL, it's kind of hard not to talk smack.
Sure.
All right, the suddenly resurgent Raiders will be in Miami to take on the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Dolphins, definitely.
Raiders are playing better.
Not that better.
Not that better?
They need to tank for Caleb Williams. This is
They ain't getting Taylor Williams. They didn't tank for Jay Daniels.
tank for, yeah, you're right.
Lions, no Tigers against the Bears. Oh my.
Lions.
Lions, I guess. Let's go Lions.
Okay. Titans against the Jaguars.
Titans.
Jaguars.
Two teams that just continue to disappoint. You know?
I'm gonna go Titans.
I mean, the Jags are number one in their division. They're 6-3.
Yeah, but look at how they played this last Sunday.
True.
They played awful.
True.
Awful. What was the score of that game they lost last week?
The Jaguars game.
I'm not
It was
seeing
34-3. Jeez.
Yeah.
Did I miss a game?
The 49ers and the Jaguars. That game was.
I did.
Oh, well.
Brock Purdy is back.
Chargers against the Packers.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah. Packers just can't get it going. Cardinals and Texans. Hey, Kyler Murray is back.
Texans.
Texans.
No,
Kyler
Texans.
Murray is
No,
back.
Texans.
Texans.
Texans. All day.
Texans.
All 4'11" of him.
Wow.
The Call of Duty kid. Let's go.
Cowboys and Panthers. We already said that that
Panthers.
would be the.
Cowboys.
Nah, I'm messing. I'm going with the Cowboys.
If the Panthers win that game,
it's over.
if the Panthers win that game, Carmen has to buy us snacks.
Okay.
All right. Giants and Commanders. Nobody wants to watch that game.
Commanders, I guess.
Commanders, yeah.
Yeah. Bucks and 49ers.
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 Yeah. You see where McCaffrey had his consecutive game touchdown streak snapped.
Man, he should have got
18.
that last touchdown.
Oh, I know.
He
Yeah.
should've got that.
Yeah. Jets and the Bills. Bills fired.
Jets?
Bills fired their offensive coordinator today.
Oh,
Dorsey, Ken Dorsey.
Oh, yeah, they did fire him.
Fired him?
Yeah, they fired him. Joe Brady got elevated.
I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Bills,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say Josh Allen's not going to have a good game because that defense shuts down quarterbacks.
See where Josh Dobbs has 5 touchdown passes in 2 games with the Vikings.
Oh, yeah. Zach
And
Wilson.
Zach Wilson has 5 touchdowns all year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm going with the Bills.
That's awful. Talking about that. Oh, never mind.
Seahawks and Rams.
Seahawks.
All right.
Seahawks.
Vikings and Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs.
Vikings
and
or
the,
Broncos?
Bills.
I'll go with
Yeah.
Broncos.
A lot of tough games to pick this week. And then Monday night, it's the Kelsey brothers.
Aww.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
rematch.
I'm gonna go with Eagles.
I got the Eagles.
Did you say Steelers versus Browns?
Did we say Steelers Browns? Did we
Let's go
miss that?
Steelers.
Steelers?
We disrespecting the Browns. This is crazy.
I'm gonna go with Steelers,
This is
though.
crazy.
Yeah, you're going Browns, I'm guessing.
Yes, easily.
All right.
It's a blowout.
We're almost out of time for today. Couple of sports notes. Lakers continue to play pretty well in the NBA.
Yeah.
They beat the Blazers the other night without LeBron.
Man.
Without LeBron, he's with an injury.
Little GOAT James, man.
Yeah.
We're going crazy.
What about though how bad of a mix it is for the Clippers? James Harden. Did you see some of the highlights the other day?
The Flippers.
Oh my gosh!
The Flippers.
Oh my goodness.
And did you see who was it? The Mavericks announcer went off on.
Oh,
Harden.
Yeah, I saw that.
He
Oh,
said-
my gosh.
He said, "You're just gonna blame everyone after you leave." I'm like, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's so catastrophic, though. Like
He not lying. No.
they're
He
0
not
4
lying.
since they traded for him. They are 0 4.
No, you saw the first thing he said. The very first thing he said, "I get on my knees and pray at night that someone believes in me like Daryl Morey believes in James Harden." That is crazy.
Oh my goodness! But there's just no way. Like they play the Nuggets tonight for the in-season tournament. They're
about
not
to
winning
they
that
about to get
game.
smacked, bro.
They're not winning this game.
I'm gonna tell you what they need to do: either bench James Harden or bench Russell Westbrook. One of the two.
They should. No, they got to trade one of them.
You can't start if you want it to work. You can't start both of them. You can't. Not at the same time.
It's crazy. College football again. Shedeur Sanders closing in on Colorado's single season records through some of the pain he's been going through from sacks and hits. Compared to all the goodwill that Colorado had to start the year, it's kind of waning a bit.
Yeah.
It's
They
kinda
lost. They lost to Arizona.
Yeah.
That just and that was on their senior night.
Yeah,
That's
a tough one. And MLB, a couple of new manager announcements. Carlos Mendoza is your new manager of the Mets. They had the formal news conference today. Yesterday, the Cubs announcing Craig Counsell as their new manager, who did the ultimate Judas heel turn move, going from the Milwaukee Brewers to the Chicago Cubs. In Wisconsin parts, that was tantamount to when Hulk Hogan joined the NWO.
Jeez. Is that bad?
It's that bad.
Golly.
It's that bad.
That must be like KD going to the Warriors. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not sitting well with folks. Not at all. So, Counsell grew up in Milwaukee. His dad worked for the Brewers in the front office. He comes back as a scout, becomes a manager, and then, I am Milwaukee. I understand Milwaukee. We're going to win a World Series in Milwaukee. And then he gets a chance to make more money going to the Cubs, like the most hated rival. So, again, I can only compare it to, like, Saban going to Alabama.
Sheesh.
If he would have gone right from Alabama to LSU. I mean, from LSU to Alabama.
LSU, Alabama.
That would have been the same kind of a feel. It was bad enough he had a little gap there with the Dolphins and then goes to them, and I remember that year. I was like, he's going to go to Alabama. Watch.
They came out. He said, "I'm not going to Alabama. I'm not going to Alabama." They went
That
to
was a
Bama.
killer. That was a killer. So, anyway, let's look at the world of sports. Any other thoughts? Final thoughts?
Good luck to the Wildcats on their games this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Go Cats. Noel, final thought?
Roll Tide.
I want to take a nap.
Baby,
Just want to take a nap.
cold cold outside.
Jane Dance for high
With
school.
Dreams of Chad. All right, that'll do it for this week's show. It's the Wildcats Media Sports Podcast. We do it every Tuesday, though we won't do it next Tuesday because it's Thanksgiving break. And we'll be getting ready to eat lots of turkey and mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Green bean casserole.
Last year when you asked what your favorite type of pie was. Oh, what a triggering statement.
Oh, no.
Well,
What's that?
Nothing.
nothing. But happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving,
The
everyone.
cranberry sauce. We're having mashed potatoes.
I'm thankful that
Thank you for loving me.
Carmen
Thank you for being there.
is a Cowboys fan. I'm thankful. And that my mom's cooking. Because, yeah. Thanks. But, yeah. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Go Wildcats.